Oops, right now. Hello everyone, welcome to part 10 of Rainy Day Let's Play's playthrough of Bioshock Infinite.
What happened there?
In Peking, it was my hand that put the city to the torch. Of course, that's not how Comstock tells it.
It's also not exactly what happened, but this a very similar telling to a lot of the atrocities that happened during the Boxer Rebellion by foreign people invading China. Although history doesn't call it invasion.
That did betray us with their lies until they crossed the righteous path of our prophet's holy wrath.
Alright, dude, that is 3 strikes. Stupid rhymes, Chuck E. Cheese robots, and blatant racism.
Comstock led the Colombians.
That's like,
The boxers took my eye and 30 of my friends. Is there even a stone to mark that sacrifice?
he has a very reasonable argument for being very, very angry at Comstock, who has apparently taken everything that mattered to, like, basically the entire reason that Slate is a soldier and trying to, and his identity as an American and all of these kinds of things, or in this case, Colombian. Yeah, that's right, even though it's wrong. Wow, so that is a much easier way to take care of the firemen, guys.
You see the man that Comstock wishes he was? A real
I don't want to
soldier.
do this, Slade. Just give me what I need.
I will, after you do the same for me. Come and look for me amongst the ghost dancers.
Who are the ghost dancers?
Wounded Knee. He means us to head to the other display.
Can you hear
So,
Comstock?
from what I understand of
But we are the true.
the Battle of, not the Battle of Wounded Knee, but the Boxer Rebellion, is that it was a rebellion by Chinese people that was impacted because of the trade influences of all the other European countries. And so it is, weirdly enough, one of the few moments pre the World Wars, pre-World War I especially, where all of the European forces kind of came together on one front. It was like Team US had their kind of one of their proto, it was like their first outing on the world stage in one way. There was some other stuff, but I mean, that was kind of like a big showing for them, and it was just only a few hundred people for America compared to the a lot more Europeans, some French, some English, some Austro-Hungarian, and a whole lot of Japanese, all on the same side. And it makes sense to Japan because they don't have a great relationship with China pretty much ever. But a very interesting rebellion to have happened.
Your companion, young lady. He wrapped
Not sure how it comes together with US stuff, but I feel like they're kind of pulling at straws for things that happened between near Wounded Knee and after the Civil War. They're like trying to point to specific times, or maybe they're not, and maybe I'm just not well enough researched. Wounded Knee, however, is definitely American influence. It was a huge deal to America's understandings with the Native American peoples and indigenous people around the world, and just it was a huge blemish on just how it was handled and what happened. And the two together are similar in a very specific way, where atrocities to the native people were a big part of the Boxer Rebellion and Wounded Knee.
When our soldiers took the field, the savage horde could only yield.
I hate you, robot. I hate you so much. I want you to go die in a fire, robot.
You were there.
Ugh. Just,
That wounded knee.
ugh.
I can see it in your face.
Tell her, Booker. Tell her how we strode that battlefield like the heroes of Sparta.
It's about that erotic, too.
Here's the soldier I spoke of. The kind of man Comstock pretends to be. See if I told you true.
Aww. Slate's so nice to me. What a nice guy. Although he's got a really weird way of showing it. This is such an interesting, like, pseudo-battlefield. I mean, it is a battlefield, and it's also supposed to be replicating a battlefield. And it really does go back to... I think I've talked about this in 3 of my Let's Plays so far, but especially in Borderlands, there was a side quest devoted to it. But history is always written by the victor. And the weird thing about secessionists, the key part, is that the reason they're seceding is because they're losers. Or in some kind of sense. They are not getting something that they want from a dominant party, and so they are going to take victory. They're going to take victory for what it is, and rewrite their history so that they win, and etc., etc. And so it's a very interesting cross-section analyzing what it means to be a secessionist and what it means to understand history.
And realized you didn't like what you chose.
I've got what
So here we have Columbia's history.
me past the First Lady's memorial.
In the big rotunda in the center. Those guys just jumped right out of there, didn't they? So it's interesting how the only 2 memorials that they, or I guess 3 technically, but the 2 exhibits that they have is the Battle at Wounded Knee and the Boxer Rebellion, both of which were really, like, rewritten in a very racist and white supremacist, Anglican supremacist is probably even the better word, sort of way.
For a single week. Comstock had a child. My books never mention anything about a child.
Awkward.
Mission. Can't imagine that was by accident.
But the child took it all.
Well, this is gonna be awkward.
For the prophet's heir day and night.
That explains how we have a miracle child on our hands.
That's my tower.
Lo, while Daisy Fitzroy has murdered my beloved, she shall not have the child. She shall not come betwixt her and prophecy. The seed
Wow, so they're
shall sit the throne and drown in flame the mountains of
they are pinning the murder of Comstock's mother, or Comstock's wife, to Daisy, the revolutionary. Elizabeth just wanted a puppy. If you just gave her a goddamn puppy, she would have been so freaking content. There we go. Although a very, like, very pro pose that they have for... There's nothing too eccentric about Daisy's posing in that model.
There was no pain I would deny them, no betrayal I would not gladly give. And when I had scorched the hearts of all who loved me, the prophet said, "There is nothing you can do for which I will not forgive you. For God has granted me sight, and through his eyes, even you are loved.
So this is kind of explaining in some way that Lady Comstock has... Oh, that's a very cool imagery of the, like, time lapse in statue form. But apparently Comstock and Daisy had a relationship of some sort
Let me see
that
what
was
happens.
later tarnished by Lady Comstock. Although we don't have any kind of details.
Is that?
Whoa, that'll help me.
Something I can bring into this world.
It's a freight hook. Well, that's convenient.
As I said, it's a form of wish fulfillment.
It's a modern freight hook, or maybe it's not a modern freight hook.
Do it.
Done. I feel there's more.
Oh, so I can just tell her to tear shit up.
These tears have a way of appearing. Booker, do you see those tears? We can use them against Slate's men. That tear will get us access to higher ground. And that one will give us a turret.
And some cover.
Nice of her to show me.
I'm not complaining.
I want to go for the higher ground. I want to just lord over them. Ah, but I can't see anything from here. Oh, okay, there's the catch. So apparently you can only have one of those active at a time. And that's the main drawback. Is that you can't just have all of them open. Oh, poor robot. He was on my side too. Double also, apparently, when you use one of those tears, that anything that's in it is automatically, like, for you, including turrets. Uh-oh. Rockets everywhere. Slow-ass rockets everywhere.
Thanks.
Good night, turret. So we're starting to piece together more of this relationship between Daisy and the Comstocks as the leading revolutionary. Although how much of this history is accurate is completely unknown. Wow, tough guy.
Doc's pen can do some wonderful tricks. Do you know what you've got there, Booker?
That's enough, Slate. We just need the vigor to get out of Columbia. We're taking it one way or another. Just keep your eye open for that shock jockey vigor.
So apparently Slate said pet, and I think he's referring to Elizabeth.
Where is the man who takes a stab in your paradise, sweetest fatherland? Here
Oh my, everything's making noise now.
heroes of our city.
10 men, Booker. That's what Comstock will turn us into. Wires and gears to replace heads and hearts.
Oh god. The funny thing about that statement is that in any other Bioshock or System Shock game, that usually means literally you will turn into a robot. And he also might mean this here, or he might just mean metaphorically that his history and his identity will be erased by becoming a one of these kinds of robotic statues, which also would be a terrible fate. Oh man, that automaton turret hit that guy hard.
Maybe not. It doesn't matter. Comstock took our stories and scrubbed away our soul. Now, he's coming for me. And when I'm gone, all that will be left is the lie.
Just give us what we came for.
Oh, this is actually a hairpin lock,
All
which
yours.
means that it doesn't cost us a lockpick, which is kind of cool. I don't know, I guess the design purpose of that would be to allow the player to interact with Elizabeth
Slate must have
without keeping them out of a specific, like, plot place. So that's kind of cool. So, thank you so much for watching. Next time, we are going to take the fight to Slate.